All right, so just wanted to do a follow-up to the community meeting that I posted. Just want to share some things I took away from it, things I learned, pieces of the puzzle I put together. It's been a long time coming with this. I definitely appreciate all the support, all the love from the It's True video. That song there, which features Mr. Donnie Jamaal, the legendary, the one and only. Man, I couldn't have done. Honestly, I can say this from the bottom of my heart. He was there first. Him and my other cousin, Mr. Hunt, you know who you are. Donnie has, even when I first started, didn't know what I was doing, just trying to stay on beat. He always came through. I always had a way with words. My thing is, if I hear your voice or whatever, I treat you like an instrument. So I could always find the words for Donnie. And even when I wasn't that good, who's to say that I'm that good now? To this day, I feel like when he's on the track, it's like impossible to match him. So I did my best at that. But Donnie has always shown me love. He's always come through when I asked him to. And hey, Donnie, say it like this. Or, you know, and he's very creative himself. Like, he's very witty. So anyway, yeah, just shout out to everybody who responded, showed me love. If I had to pose a challenge, I would say a lot of the love y'all send is directly to my phone, because that's how I communicate with a lot of people, send it out and stuff like that, everything organic. I pose a challenge, y'all put it in the comments, because I don't like to play the whole social media game, but it's true. Like, the comments and stuff that posted somehow, some way triggers the algorithm to push it out there to more people. And I would rather go organic at this point. You know, got 500 subs, like got 300 views. That's a pretty good, that's beyond good, you know what I mean? So I just pose a challenge, y'all, like, you know, put the feedback in the comments. It really helps. But as far as the meeting goes, I had been seeing, like I'm sure we all have, here and there, sporadically throughout time, certain signs that are always tucked off into the corner. It's ironic that we have an actual billboard, a digital billboard on Johns Island, and something like that wouldn't be posted on that billboard, but it's like blended in with the rest of the construction on the side of the road. So I had missed the first two that I did see that I planned to go to, but this time around, with everything at stake and the battles that I had been personally dealing with to secure and protect the land that I've inherited, I just knew that I had to go to this meeting. Of course, there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of things that I know, there's a lot of fight and want to witness, but upon making the deal with myself that I would show up, I had to temper myself and really just, you know, just show up and experience it, rather than going there with a head full of steam like, this is what I'm going to say. So the news, getting up and speaking, none of that was planned. I really planned on just going there and doing what I did, just capturing it for all the people who are out of town, who couldn't have made it because of work or just didn't even know. That was my purpose for doing it. In the meeting, I wasn't going to say anything, like I said, but on their board of things to cover, they had the topic of eminent domain. A couple of days before that, on another piece of property that I'm tasked to protect, we woke up to stakes in the yard, like deep into the yard, as if like they were going to take up that space. Now, the funny thing about it was, that was the first indication of any of that going on. Oh, story. Our neighbor right next to us and across the street had already had a large portion of their land taken away. You know, the community talks. So we knew that they had accepted payment for that, you know? So it was just funny to us, like, how are there stakes in our yard? And, you know, they work day and night. You know, anytime you got to do something so fast, you know what I mean? It's probably something not clean in the water. So we woke up to that, and you know, my people started calling around and trying to find out exactly what the plan was. And we found out that they were indeed planning on taking that. That was the first time. It wasn't done by me, the reaching out and the communication. So at that meeting, when I saw that, I brought up the topic of eminent domain, and I also brought up, I haven't even watched the video, so I don't know exactly what I said. Y'all will probably cross-reference and know more than I did, but from what I remember just bringing up, like, what's up with that? How is it that, is this a part of your eminent domain? Like, how is it that neighbors can be notified and paid, and you plan on doing something and we weren't even informed? That's when they, oh yeah, you were supposed to be informed and all that. And you know, somewhere in there, I also kind of brought up the whole, like, when do we get a say-so in this? And they, you know, attempted to try to shut that down really quick. Oh, we've been having meetings since 2018, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't fight that battle, and I'll touch on that again. But yeah, I basically posed that question, that issue, raised that concern. And as you can see, they were, you know, give me your information, let's contact, we're gonna reach out to you. Yeah, you were supposed to be notified, blah, blah, blah. And walking out of it, I guess because I spoke up in the meeting, there were newscasters out waiting, like in the breezeway, and one of the brothers asked me if I wanted to be on the news. So, you know, can't claim the name and not show up when you walk into it, really. So I agreed, and I said a lot more a lot more than what they chopped and put together on the news, referencing the video. Like, if y'all haven't seen the video, like, and you see this first, go check out the Is True video on my page, and you'll get some content. You'll see what I'm saying. And I'm gonna put out the what I really said and what they took from it video at some point. But I guess that, and being on the news and all of that, and speaking up and all of that, they immediately reached out to me the next day, and the guy was so reassuring. And yeah, we don't know how that happened. You were supposed to be notified, and give us about 6 weeks, and we're gonna get an appraisal and get you guys all paid up and all that. Now, in my mind, I'm letting them talk, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, if you gotta pay me and you already tried to go around that, you know, it's probably more rights that I actually own that you're not trying to give us time to catch on to. Or, you know how they go, they just come in with their script, and I guess all of us are just supposed to jump at the fact that they're going to give us money. We're not desperate, you know. So I had the space to think, and like I said, prior experience has already shown me how the game is being played and what's actually being done. And on that same note, if they're doing these things so fast, and they're doing things like trying to go around about to achieve certain things, there's probably a lot more rights that we have if we just knew about it and stood up and said something. So one guy contacted me, and he told me in 6 weeks he would reach back out to me, even though I knew that I'm fighting for, like, you ain't finna do nothing, I don't care about no check. But I let him talk just to see what he gonna do. And it's been like, I don't, that was probably June or July. I haven't heard from him since. So that's at least 3-4 months. At least 3-4 months. I ain't heard nothing from him since. The other day, I woke up, I went around, you know, the corner or whatever, and they had their little paintings out in the yard. And this time they didn't have any stakes in the yard. But still, to me, even if you conclude that, well, we're within right here, and this is the eminent domain, you still owe me a phone call regardless to follow up with what's really going on, you know? I came in contact with someone involved in local politics, and we had a deep conversation, and they basically alluded to COVID, the shutdown, being the time that they really passed a lot of this stuff to really ramp up the development here. She mentioned things like the mentality of doing it and asking for forgiveness after, and the fine for destroying historical landmarks or houses or different things that weren't supposed to be torn down is just like a $5,000 fine. I found out that our mayor has actually had some like contracting experience, some, building type experience, construction, and he really doesn't give a damn. And I was confirmed by a lawyer. I don't even know if I should say their names, but a lawyer that I went to for an appointment to see if he could help me out in the situation. And he's literally the devil in the flesh, man. And he came in and he was like, yo, the mayor that we have now doesn't really care about the old Charleston's ways. That's how he put it. And he told me that, all in all, he told me that I was going to get crushed in court for the matter that I was battling at the time, and I had no chance. But he had the gall and the audacity to smile and then say, but I'm interested in knowing what's going to happen if you want to come by and tell me. Well, what ended up happening is I just had to study up, drop my balls and represent myself. And I ended up winning that, like convincingly, like making him look really, really foolish, all credit due to the source. But long story short, what I took away is whenever we see these signs for these community meetings, man, like we really got to show up. Because like I say, deep below the surface, this is a land run by heirs property. And in my mind, without the legalese that they change over time to fit their agendas, in order to live on heirs property, you need the bloodline. And like I said, if we just collectively place our attention on this just for a short time, there's many things written in the books that we claim that we live and die by that say that if we all just cry out at the same time, something along the lines of that's when the Most High will answer. So it doesn't matter if we're in the last stages, the 12th round, we still got a puncher's chance. And I believe that's confirmed by how this is playing out. If I wouldn't have come to that meeting, if I wouldn't have taken those stakes up out the yard, if I wouldn't have put myself on their radar, they would have done what they did to a neighbor around the corner and wipe out, like just go ahead and take out their whole front yard. A property that was fortressed in by trees that you didn't even know was there with the large yard is now like wiped away and open to the public. So they're going through that, battling that legally. So there's a house, then another house, which was the neighbor that I told you that took the payment. Then there's our house. We weren't notified or informed or compensated for the changes, but the person in the middle was. Now, the common denominator that they wouldn't like us to draw conclusions to is this person in the middle is a newcomer and they have the right skin suit. I'll say that. We're original old islanders generationally, and we have this skin suit, so and the neighbor across the street also has the right skin suit, and so it's hard not to just wonder if, do you know that we won't go for that? Do you not even want to have to wonder if we're aware and deal with that and have to pay us? Like, what's up with that? So imagine if that whole room was filled with islanders who know what it took to bring the island to where it was, who know the history, who know our way of life. Imagine if a lot of us were in that meeting room, because there was only maybe 3 or 4 of us, Imagine if we all stood up or showed up or voiced our concerns, That's what I took away from it. It's very important to show up. Now, I don't know when the next community meeting was, or if there even was another one. That was the last one that I know about, because I haven't seen any signs. And when I searched it yesterday, Google's all over the place, but this is what it said. So according to Google, they just had one on the 20th, and it says that it already happened, but I'm pretty sure they're saying that it's about to happen again on like the 29th, I think. I'm outside of the thing, but it'll be on the screen. So it's like, if this is true, where's the notifications? Again, going with what the young lady told me, that during COVID, they had a lot of these meetings, and now, you know, people don't hardly got time to come, or ain't gonna come, or, you know, so much on our minds. Imagine if the shutdown is happening when social distancing is new and all of that, and we don't know what to expect. You got all these reports of people dropping like flies. You damn sure know there ain't nobody coming there. And it only makes sense with how they're moving, how, like, what we've exposed by standing up to it. It would only make sense that these things are true. It gives a whole new definition to pandemic. And again, if it sounds far-fetched, if you know the history of the Gullah people, like the Civil War is probably the Gullah Wars, and they've taken a lot of the information out. Like the Gullah Wars is what allegedly ended chattel slavery, physical slavery. That's Andrew Jackson them trying to fight our ancestors, and we sent them home packing. So it's my theory that they went back into the world over time, over centuries, a couple of them, and developed credit systems and all these things, figured out different ways to keep us changing our names. We were Negro, we were African American, we're Afro American, all these different processes they put us through just to have us here totally distracted and full of the illusion to not even be in position to fight the Gullah Wars continued. That's my theory, you know? But that was the whole purpose of posting a community meeting. And hopefully this resonates and we start to really investigate what's going on, you know? Pretty much that's the gist of it. So again, I appreciate all the support. I definitely do. It's a lot more to come. It's a whole album. I got songs to support. It's true. Like I said, that song's a couple years old. Just always waiting on the right time. And I'm glad I did, because the news thing, the timing, everything, the locations, the scenes, it wouldn't have happened when I first made it, you know? So there was a whole project behind that, new songs to come. I'm thinking of the ways I'm gonna send it. I think I'm just gonna take my time, and whichever one I feel to put out next, do a little video, put it out. It gotta make sense, because I'm doing this sincerely. I'm doing this so we can tell the story the way it's really happening, instead of just watching it and letting another people repackage it and sell it as if they were the saving grace to everyone. Look out for like a live from the battlegrounds type of report. I went to different locations that have been dramatically altered and just told a little bit of story, a little history. And the inspiration behind that was, again, every day you go outside, every week you go outside, it's another part that's just been wiped out, changed. Some people that come back won't even be able to recognize what the island looks like. So I just, instead of waiting, because I always had the ideas of what I wanted to do, but it's just like, I'm only one person. I'm making beats. I gotta write, I gotta mix, I gotta master, I gotta market, I gotta edit the video, shoot the video. Like, so I just decided, you know, when the youth grow up, they gonna think that most of these changes is just how it always was. So we gotta get this stuff on camera just to let them know what happened, so they'll know who they are, what we've been through, and they'll know exactly who these people are. Because, you know, all they could do is come here, do all these changes, and claim that they always been here and that's how it was. That's just what they do. Always restarting and hijacking timelines and stuff. And we won't allow that to happen. I don't know what the end result of all this will be. Maybe I do. But humbly I say, this is all an effort of that. Just telling our story. And I encourage y'all to speak up and tell yours. If y'all are going through certain land issues, your people sold the land, they trying to buy their way into violent, whatever, how, just feelings about coming home and seeing how it is, or did you have to move out because you just couldn't take it? I've heard that before. My thing is, we can't stand individually and just complain about it. You know what I mean? Like, all we got to do is show up. Like, all we got to do is show up. That's my theory on why St. John's won Friday at homecoming. Because the energy was there. The spirit was there. All we got to do is show up. This is spiritual warfare. So the smallest moves in this earth realm in the right direction are magnified in the one that we can't see. You feel me? Our conversations shift things. We jump timelines with conversations. We solidify them with showing up. Even if we just showed up and didn't say anything, it would throw a monkey wrench in all their plans, because it's like, oh Lord, okay, we didn't expect that. I wonder what do they know? Like, we can't just go out like this. And I know there are people who feel the same way, and there's people out there doing things, but let this be a flag in the ground. I'm not saying nobody else doesn't have any, but this is the post that I'm offering to the whole equation. Let this be a rallying point, whether you're from downtown, West Ashley, Johns Island, Wamala, y'all get up and do the same thing. It's a lot of talent out here, man. Start using our voices to speak out, Speak out. Use words to affirm what we need. That's how we fight this battle. It ain't physical, it ain't guns, it ain't none of that, It really isn't. So yeah, again, I think I've spoken long enough. I really appreciate y'all. Let's let them know we got something to say. Let's let them know that we're here, and here's the new promised land.